Hello, I'm hoping that this is the last video. Well, I know it's going to be the last video, and then you're going to see my face, and then you'll learn from me for the rest of the year. So we're going to look at compromises. This still has to do with the Constitution. So far you've done a lot, and I'm going to majorly review with you when we get back. It'll go really fast. But today we're looking at compromises. You've already learned about the Bill of Rights. That was a huge compromise to add that to the Constitution. The anti-feds argued for it. And don't ever let someone tell you arguing is bad. Fighting, bad, but constructive arguing is not bad. It got us the Bill of Rights, which we love. Here's the next set of compromises. One compromise is going to lead to another. So I want you, if you haven't already, y'all will stop this video and you're going to do the opening. And I want you to think of this scenario. And connect it to what we're doing. So answer the following questions with your partner. A teenager wants to stay at a party until 2 a.m., 2 in the morning. The parents with the teenager at home by 10 p.m. How do you resolve this? Well, you want to come home at 2. The teenager wants to come home at 10. What you going to do? And then, can you see that? Because I'm down here, kind of, sort of. So what I want you and your partner to talk about this one, okay? What are y'all gonna do? You can't have both. I want you to create a compromise. And then you're gonna do the same thing with this one and this one. I want y'all to create a compromise. The point is two people, a compromise is like, it's an agreement. It means that two different people or two different groups of people want two different things, but you've got to come to some kind of agreement on that. So please go ahead and stop this video and talk about what you would do with these. And that this really happens in real life, okay? Okay, do that now. Okay, so the two compromises we have today have a name, and they're called the Great Compromise and the Three-Fifths Compromise. You are always going to remember the Three-Fifths Compromise. My students always get those right. Why? Because history gave it a good name. The Great Compromise, history gave it a stupid name because it's really actually not that great of a compromise. I think this one is totally stupid. So it's really not even a compromise. So on this one, the Great Compromise, first, there's a word in here I want you to make sure you know. Delegate, a person sent to represent others, an elected representative sent to a conference or a convention. So a delegate is the same as just like a representative. All right. So what we're going to look at is we're going to fill this in down here. And you have this says New Jersey plan, small state, Virginia plan, large state. And then we're going to have to come to a compromise, okay? So here's what I want you to do real quick. You are going to pause the video. The person on the right is going to read this. The person on the left is going to read this. Do that for me just really quick, okay? Go ahead and stop the video and stop the video and read that. Do that now. Okay, so here's what we need to do. What was New Jersey's plan and what is Virginia's plan here? So this one is called, and just so you know, we're on the Great Compromise. And I hope that y'all can see this in my little crappy video here. Okay. The first compromise representatives reached was over state representation. Virginia was a large state, meaning they had a big population. A lot of people live in Virginia. James Madison of Virginia proposed a plan in which each state would be represented in Congress in proportion to its population. Delegates, representatives from New Jersey, a tiny state, said, nope, stupid, dumb, don't want to do it. They proposed equal representation for states just as they had under Articles of Confederation. The more, why do we even care about this stupidness? Because the more reps you have, let me put this little up here. reps equal votes, votes equal power. See, now it kind of makes sense. They're fighting over power, sure thing, because the less votes you get, the less say you have, the less power you have. So what is Virginia? A large state comes up with a plan. They want representation in Congress, and I will review this majorly with you, and we're fixing to do principles, but representation based on, if I put pop, what would that be short for? Hopefully you're thinking population. So you can put pop or write out population. Representation based on population. So that was their plan. And honestly, guys, that's the more fair way to do it. If Virginia has 5 million people in it and New Jersey only has 10, they should get more votes. They should have more power because it's pretty just simple. There's more people. And this kind of sounds like common sense, but this is a new plan. New Jersey has the old plan. What was New Jersey's plan? So we already know that Virginia wanted representation based on population. New Jersey objected, and they want equal representation. So equal representation. Presentation, did I spell that wrong? Oh my gosh, yes I did. Let's scratch that out, Miss Howard. And spell it correctly. There you go. They want equal representation because kind of like they're saying, well, we're tiny, but we want as much power. No, I'm sorry. You don't have as many people living there. You don't get as much power. Well, here's the problem. We have this plan and this plan, and we can't do both, or can we? So here's what's going to happen. Here's the great compromise, which is what I say is stupid, okay? Because it's really not that great compromise. Remember, I always say in a compromise, you can't do both. Well, unfortunately, in this one compromise, they do, which is why I call it not the great compromise, but they call it the great compromise. So that's like, here's what's going to happen. Here it is. The great compromise, which we give it such a great name. The great compromise is we're going to do both. Yeah. On our branch, our tree branch right here, because you know how we have 3 branches. Let's see if you can see this. We have 3 branches. On the legislative branch, which has Congress, we're going to split it into 2 groups. So instead of just having our Congress group, we are taking Congress now and splitting it into 2 groups. One that has the New Jersey plan and one that has the Virginia plan. And we still have it today. So the great compromise is we are going to have something called a group called the House. Can I write Reps? And y'all know that that's the House of Representatives. The House of Reps. And that is based on population. And then we're going to have something called a Senate. And it is equal representation. The Senate is the New Jersey plan. The House of Reps is the Virginia plan. And yes, we still have it today. Because of this argument of these old dead guys, we still have 2 groups today. So the House of Representatives is huge because it's based on population. Texas, we have tons of them. But the Senate's equal. So here's a question. If it's equal representation, each state gets to send 2 senators. There's 50 states. Each state gets 2 senators. How many senators do we have? Ding, 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 100. The House of Representatives is based on population. How many House of Representatives do we have? I don't know. You're going to have to Google it. Because it changes. Because if your population changes, if everyone moves out of Texas, guess what? We're going to lose representatives. If we get a lot more people, we're going to gain representatives. So you want to know the exact amount? It's like 400 something. If you'd really like to know, ask whoever is showing you this video to Google it. Okay. That is the big plan. That is the Great Compromise. Yes, we're doing both. We took the group Congress and we split it in when we have two groups. We have the House of Reps and the Senate. That is the Great Compromise. I will practice this with you. Usually the test questions on this are very, very easy. Okay, so at this time, then now we have a problem that arises. So someone says, okay, this was a problem. This problem creates a new problem. And here it is. This is, turn your paper over. I'd rather you actually stop the video, cover your notes, and try and explain this to your partner. So if somebody was living in a box and said, the Great Compromise, I never heard of it, what is that? You need to be able to explain that New Jersey, a tiny state, they wanted to have equal power as everyone else. They wanted equal representation. Virginia, a large state, wanted to have it based on population. You just need to remember Virginia, a large state, New Jersey is the small state, and then what's in the boxes. The Great Compromise is we're going to do both. You have to know this name, the House of Representatives, and the Senate, and who has the equal rep and who has it based on population. You just have to memorize that. It's really not hard. You have to just memorize it, okay? I would stop this video, try and cover up your notes, and see if you can retell that story to your partner. Go. Okay, so this leads to a new problem, and it's called the 3/5 compromise, okay? The 3/5 compromise is another disagreement. What time is it, Mason? Okay, I'm coming. I'm gonna stop this video and we're gonna come back and we're gonna do the Great Compromise because I have to take my child to school, okay?